Welcome back, part two, this week's show, week before the All-Star break.
It might be part one if I didn't hit the button right.
That would be bad.
That would be bad. That was a great segment. I hope we got it.
It was a good segment.
We do it again.
Talked a lot and everything. Talked a little bit about the Gators winning the national championship in college baseball. Now we move over to the big boys.
Okay.
Should the season end today, I'm sure Aaron Judge would be Rookie of the Year.
I'm positive he would.
Good chance he'd be MVP.
Positive would be.
And then
Maybe.
He would be the Triple Crown winner.
and then he would join Miguel Cabrera as the only Triple Crown winner in the last 50 years.
If the season ended today.
If the season ended today.
Today.
The season does not end today.
Got a
No,
few more
but
months
still, you got a
It's
rookie
amazing.
batting .333, 26 home runs, 60 RBI.
That's a pretty good year.
You know, you got, and I'll tell you, there's a lot of and through it all, through 57 games. Okay, Cody Bellinger's got 24 home runs.
Yes.
You know, Judge has already played over 100, considering he played 27 last year, and he's got 70-something already played this year. Bellinger, a month late, showing up to the show.
Yeah.
Never played in the big leagues before.
Nope.
And he is tearing it up.
Tearing it up.
Along with last year's
Not
rookie.
hitting as high as Judge, but he's got his home run percentage is higher, a lot higher.
He's got you get this. He had in his first 53 major league games, he had six out of 53 games with 2 home runs or more. Actually, 2 home runs. He hasn't hit 3 in a game yet.
Okay.
But that's not too. If every 50 games you got 6 double.
That's 12 right there.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that.
You know, that says something about the stupidity of pitching. This is a guy you might not want to challenge twice.
No.
If he gets you once, you might want to try a different
6
approach.
games.
would
No,
think so.
and you're right. And then just to say, hey, you remember me? Last year's Rookie of the Year off that same team. The Dodgers are the Rookie of the Year machines.
They are.
I mean,
The
18,
all-time-
you know,
all-time-
it's absolutely ridiculous. But last year's Rookie of the Year, he decides to go out and have a 3 home run game on Sunday.
Not bad.
I'll take it.
What?
Yeah, I'll take it. He's really good. Corey Seager, he's really good.
He's really good.
He's
The
really
Dodgers
good.
are good and young, so it should be good for a
And,
while.
and Jansen goes out, the closer, okay, reliever, and he has batted twice. How often do
Never.
they never bat? He's
Yeah.
got 2 hits this year.
Wow.
As
what's-
a closer.
And what's the
Maybe they
shocker?
use him as a pinch hitter in situations.
What the shocker is,
He was a catcher originally, right?
you saw that because we were looking at it. I go,
Right.
check
No, I
out
knew that
Jansen's strikeout to walk ratio, because
Oh, yeah.
he walked his first batter of the season. He has collected more hits than given up walks.
walks? Yeah, I know.
That's-
He had 0 walks going,
But what's the
52.
52 strikeouts and
To
0
one.
you know,
walks.
a 2-to-1 strikeout ratio, 3-to-1 is pretty good.
Yeah.
What's a
52 to
52-to-1 strikeout to walk?
I want him on my fantasy teams.
You
Not
might
sure.
have another argument for MVP if they win it all.
So we look at that and the Dodgers and everything. The Dodgers
All right, what's your
half
question?
game. And we get to that part. The Dodgers half game behind the Houston Astros. Same number of wins, 52
Right.
wins.
One
The
loss.
Astros have 26 losses. The Dodgers have 27.
Right.
So the Dodgers, the second best record by half a game in all of baseball. They've won 9 of their last 10. Just extremely. Actually, I want to say 12 out of their last 13.
Yeah, something like that.
The third best team in baseball record is the Arizona Diamondbacks. The fourth is the Colorado Rockies.
Rockies,
So you're
right.
looking at the second, third, and fourth best records in baseball.
Yep.
Clearly, and we talked about that last week, and you both went that both wild cards are going to come out of the West, and
I
it's
think
going to be
so.
very, very
Very
difficult,
difficult to knock them out.
to knock 2 of them out there.
Yep.
Besides the NL West, and we'll go to Eddie first. What's the best division in baseball?
I'll give Bob the easy one. Bob, are you going to take the American League East?
And I'll tell you why. Because it's the only division right now in baseball where you can go from worst to first in 1 week if everything works out. I mean, 6.5 games separate all of the teams. Although the National League Central is very compelling also.
That's
So
where
no.
I was going. I was going to go.
He'll go with the Central,
I was gonna
so
go
the
with
West. So
AL.
because a team like Toronto that is 4 games under 500,
Right.
because they can go to first place in a week.
Yeah.
that makes them the best.
I think that's the
division in
most
baseball.
compelling division. I really do. I think it's the best. I think it's the one that would be most exciting. You know, you look at Boston, New York. That's all you hear about. But Tampa Bay has a winning record right now. Baltimore is even, and then, like you said, Toronto is just behind. But 6.5 games. If it all worked out right that week, Toronto could be in first place in 7 days. I mean, it's great.
The National League Central.
That was my other option. I think I gave that to Bob to give him the easy one because that would have been my choice as well. But I think one of the reasons why I would say the Central is if you mean the best teams that are there, I think the better teams are in the Central. I think Chicago and St. Louis are still better teams than New York and Tampa Bay.
Even
and
though
Boston.
one is a game over 500, the other's
Right.
6 games under.
Right, yeah. Because of who
That's
they
interesting.
played, they've still got to play each other and they still got to knock each other out. So I think those two teams, if you had to decide right now, do I want to play Tampa Bay in the wild card or do I want to play the St. Louis Cardinals in the wild
Right.
card? I'd play St. Louis I'd play Tampa Bay all
Sure.
the time because of the experience factor.
Well, the Cubs are looking for a new catcher. Did you see that today?
David Ross coming back, right?
Oh yeah,
What?
that's great. Okay, David
Miguel
Ross.
Montero.
He got hurt.
What?
He got hurt.
Day before yesterday, 7 stolen bases off of him.
Ouch.
You know how he responded?
I didn't see this.
He
My
threw-
arm is hurt.
He threw Arrieta under the bus. They were stealing bases off him.
It's his fault. Yeah.
Arrieta,
Yeah.
Cy Young Award winner and whatever, they stole those bases off of Arrieta, and he didn't give me a chance. About an hour ago, the Cubs released him.
Yeah, bye-bye.
Holy moly.
You don't
Yeah, I
say
didn't
anything
see
about
that.
the most highly paid guy on your staff
No.
if you want to stay in on the job.
So
You're just like, yeah, I had a
David
bad
Ross.
game.
David Ross coming back. That's good.
Fine, they'll find somebody else. There's enough catchers out there.
Yeah.
Montero.
All right, second
Okay.
question.
Let's go. Aaron Judge, big time. Cody Bellinger, big time debut and everything. And I don't know, did you take the last one or did you pass it over to him?
He can have first shot.
You can go. Okay. I want to know, and I know a lot of baseball.
You know a lot more than I do.
I know a lot of
So do
guys
they,
in
for that
baseball.
matter.
I follow
That's
it a
okay.
little bit, not as much as I did. But who's the best player that I really haven't heard of?
Well, you've heard of this guy, but a guy that doesn't get as much publicity is Marcell Ozuna. He's the first guy that I picked, and the second guy I picked was Ender Inciarte from the Braves. Ozuna's got 20 homers. If he was playing for a champion or a first place team, I think you'd hear a lot about him. But you don't because he's in Miami, and Stanton and gets much more publicity. Rudy Yelich, who is another one who you don't hear that much about because they're not winning. And then Inciarte for the Braves, he's got 10 steals, and he played outfield 205 chances this year. He's 1 error. And the Braves I keep them to say this June 28th. The Braves have a chance to be in the playoffs this year. I mean, think about it.
They've got to beat They've got to beat.
They
The
are in second
Nationals?
place for the wild card.
They've gotta beat Colorado.
But you've already
They-
told
they-
me that Arizona
I
and
didn't say they're
Colorado.
going to win it. I said they're competitive. We didn't think that. I thought they'd be here at the bottom with Philadelphia.
They're
They're actually competitive.
10 games out.
10
of the
games
wild.
out.
And there's
Your-
rumors
your
now that
play-
Chris
your
Archer
player?
might go there.
It's got to be in the big leagues.
Yeah.
Paul Goldschmidt.
No one's heard of. Underrated.
Well,
He's a
do you
player.
know him?
Yeah, he's an all-star,
great. He's
almost
all-star.
MVP last year.
Yeah, but most people that are just
He goes with an
common
he goes with an all-star game starter. Did you remember
Yeah.
that? Ozuna started.
Ozuna
Oh, I
he
forgot that.
started in the all-star game last.
But you don't ever hear about
But
it.
you don't ever hear about
don't
these
hear about
guys,
them.
and you know anything that comes on a national thing, you rarely see the Arizona Diamondbacks.
Never.
And this guy's second in home runs or third in home runs.
None of you guys went with Arredondo.
No,
No.
I never heard of the guy.
No.
That's my point. See, that's my
There's a
point.
trailer park here in Gainesville, right?
Yeah, Arenado Farm.
And isn't there on the fourth floor of the right
Yeah,
street?
right,
There's
Yeah,
a restaurant.
There's a restaurant there,
Arenado
Arenado
room. Yeah. It's
You know.
I don't know.
Yeah, you can pick a bunch of players that nobody's heard of. I mean, but that was just mine. The best.
I mean-
You said the best player nobody's heard of. You didn't.
Right, that's what I thought.
Well,
it was,
and he's not a national name that most people go, I'm going to buy Goldschmidt's jersey.
While we're on the Marlins and you with Ozuna and everything like that,
Yep.
people forget. You know, you got Stanton, you got Yelich, you got Ozuna, great young outfield and everything like that. On Sunday, I don't know if you saw the news. Ichiro started in center field at the age of 43, becoming the oldest player ever to start in center field, surpassing who?
Willie Mays?
Oldest player in center
To
field.
start in center field.
Ty Cobb.
That guy
I'm
played
guessing.
center field.
Yeah, he played center field for the Detroit Tigers.
No. The oldest guy was Ricky Henderson.
Ricky Henderson.
42 years and 10 months. And Ichiro is now the oldest guy
43,
to have a start in center field.
256
Not to
days.
play, to have a
Ricky
start.
Henderson, who one time famously failed to cash $1 million check
Just because.
because he thought it was one of the souvenir checks that you give people, put it up on his wall.
Yes, that Ricky Henderson.
That Ricky Henderson.
He's not the oldest guy to start in center field.
You talking about
Ichiro, Hall of Famer, great player, 5,000 hits between continents. What?
You know, I look at all ways.
We'll go here.
Go
You
ahead
went
first, go
sooner.
first, go ahead.
What's 20 years from now, 25 years from now, what's Ichiro going to be best remembered for and talk about?
I think you'll best be remembered for being the guy that crossed over the leagues and then brought some other Japanese players and brought maybe some status to Japanese professional baseball. You know, it was a place where you usually went when you couldn't play anymore in the major leagues, and you'd go over there. And I think his coming to the United States and succeeding and doing well,
Doing well.
Very well.
like Hall of Fame well, established that league as being able to produce some players, so that it now makes you have to go and take a look at some of the guys who are there and coming up in that league now. So I think that will be his greatest legacy. I think the second thing is he's going to go down as one of the best guys that could handle the bat, right alongside Rod Carew to me. I mean, if you told,
Alongside. See,
I don't think he's better than Rod Carew.
he had.
Different.
Okay. Different.
Handling the bat, I don't think he's as good as Rod Carew. Now, if you had right now, today, if you said, find me the guy who I can put down cones in the outfield and say, hit the ball with a cone, I'd take Ichiro over everybody else. Hands down.
Yeah, I mean, seven time hitting leader, rookie of the year MVP. What do you say about him? I think in a way, when I think about Carew, I think about two guys. Jackie Robinson for one, because of how late Ichiro came to America. He started when he was 27, as did Robinson in the majors. In a way, he's like the Satchel Paige of baseball of
Still
hitters
keeps playing.
because he keeps playing.
Had a
Still keep
game-winning hit last.
Game when he hit
Yeah.
last night, he
Still
keeps
does it.
playing, keeps delivering. He's going to be a Hall of Famer. I mean, 3,000 hits.
Hall of Famer in 2 leagues?
I think so. I mean, I think so. He's unbelievable. And the thing that living here in Florida like we do, when he was in Seattle, we didn't see Ichiro.
And that's
as
why.
big.
Ichiro, and people don't forget, I mean, this is like 100 years old. Ichiro had, and I want to say 261 hits in a season. I mean, broke a record that was like 1,000 years
Two
old.
batting titles.
Most hits. 200 hits for like 11. People don't get 200 hits. And if you
Right,
do,
boy.
you know, Pete Rose gets, I think, 6 years in a row or something like that. Ichiro doubled that. He doubled it. I mean, just a hitting machine.
Yeah.
And almost as good as Rod Carew.
That's to me. Sorry. I have my opinion. You have yours.
He was great. I mean, he really is. He's great.
I'm not saying he's not great. You're asking me a question, and I just think Rod Carew was ahead of his time there.
Rod Carew is unbelievable. People just don't understand.
But being able to place the ball where he wanted to place it.
Yes.
Remember, that's what I said. Place the ball where he said. I didn't say
Rod
the
Carew was
best
unbelievable.
hitter ever.
Okay.
That's
I
not what
put
said.
Rod Carew, believe it or not, and I love Rod Carew. I put him with Wade Boggs.
Boggs was good at
Boggs
it too.
was good.
Being able to
Okay,
handle bat.
let's close with this one. We'll go to Eddie. Okay, Eddie. And it's what we were just talking about before. It's actually not next Monday, but the Monday after that, home run derby.
Yeah.
Okay, Stanton, Judge, or you got someone else?
Well,
Will
I
Judge
guess-
be in it?
I think Judge will be in it, and I get the first shot, so I'm going to take Stanton because he's going to defend his ballpark. But either one, I would take those two against the field for sure.
Stanton and Judge.
Stanton and Judge against the field.
I'm a standing, but just because Eddie picked him, I'm gonna go outside. I'm gonna say Bellinger if he's in it. Go with the National League guy because he sees the park more than Judge does. I don't think it's really gonna matter.
Bellinger's
If-
named an All-Star. You got it.
If he's named an All-Star, yeah, I think.
I mean, is he
is he?
I think he got to be.
leading the
Yeah.
league in home runs?
Yeah.
Yeah,
he'll be
he's got to be on there. He's got to be on
Bellinger.
the squad. Judge has to be on the squad, even if they're not selected by the fans. I think they've got
Yeah,
to be.
Bellinger's going to be there, and I think he's just been there more than Judge. It's not going to matter. I think it's going to be fun no matter what, you know. And I'm looking forward. I really hope Stanton repeats. I really do.
I think Judge will hit the longest one.
Yeah.
I don't know
Judge
if he'll hit
will?
more. Yeah, I think
man,
Judge
he
will
just-
hit. he might knock down the little fountain out there in the outfield. I
Crush
mean,
him,
he might actually knock the Dolphin off when it comes around.
What do you think? Let us know. Give us a shout here on Facebook.
You know, I thought, and we'll wrap with this because it was something you were very upset about. Certain people saying I'm not going to be in the home run derby.
I don't like it.
Using it. And for someone to come out even before the whole thing and says, "Hey, I'm there to defend."
That's it. That's what it's about.
That's what it should do, and it's great for baseball for him to walk. Not only being, from Miami, being home guy, but be defending it, saying this is my ballpark. You want to come take my trophy? Come on,
Get it.
I think that does a lot for baseball, even a good-natured rivalry. Because I don't really think he cares that much whether, I think he's competitive and he wants to win, but I don't think it's like come get it from my dead cold hands or anything like that.
Hey, real quick in closing, it's June 28th. 3 days left in June. Mike Zunino, 30 RBI in June,
It's disgusting.
and only one other. And you were saying when I said the only Seattle
Right-handed
catcher and everything.
on odd days.
Only one Seattle Mariner has had 30 RBI. Zunino's the second, and his name's not Griffey, and his name's not
Ichiro.
Alex Rodriguez,
Oh,
Ichiro.
interesting.
and it's not Ichiro.
Really?
Alvin Davis.
30 RBI, only one Mariner has done it.
Jay Buhner.
I have no idea.
Alvin Davis was my first choice. Who
See,
is
because
it?
everyone forgets, because he was just a DH. He didn't play every
Edgar
day.
Martinez.
Edgar Martinez. Seattle RBI record at 32. Mike Zunino.
Go
Florida
get it, Mikey
Gator.
Z. National champion.
National champion Mike
Nationals.
Zunino. Not part of the team, but he is a Gator. He's got 2 ribbies to get in the next 3 nights.
Go get it, buddy.
Go get it.
Hey,
luck.
thanks for joining us this week.
See you in
Another
3
great
weeks.
session, 3 Ball Walk.
See you. Bye.